And okay, we're live on all three. And what's up, Jonas? You're apparently watching. So, okay. First and foremost, if you're watching this on any of the platforms, live raise and YouTube comments will take precedence over Facebook due to there's 19,000 of you on Facebook, and live raise and YouTube have the live stream, not the live stream, the super chat. You can send in, you can boost your comment. And no, I cannot sing. I was not born with that talent. This is why I draw. That's the number one talent I have. So, okay. And if you're watching this and it's no longer live, I will, in the comment sections, YouTube, I will basically go and questions that you pretty much had. So, okay. The subject is building the manga industry. So, what is the manga industry? Pretty much, it's certain industries where you have businesses that they're started up and they basically are providing jobs for other people. So, due to the internet and due to the vast landscape that we have, things are completely different. For instance, we all know about Japan and piracy. We all know the American manga industry, and we all know Korea has one. We realize that China has some, and basically China's internet is kind of like a bubble, so it's really hard to get their stuff. It's hard to penetrate that bubble, and it's really hard for us to get their to get some of their stuff. See here. Let me check live raise. And I think I will. Let me check the super chat on YouTube. So basically, I have a few subjects. So first and foremost, you need to decide what you want to do. Do you want to start a business? Do you want to just be an artist? Do you want to be a writer? Do you want to be some sort of manga assistant? Do you want to be a promoter? Or, are you a cosplayer in this? Or, do you want to be just like some sort of influencer where, you make YouTube videos and or event me videos and sit there and talk about them? How do you get rid of trolls here? So anyway. So once you pretty much figure out that, you have to decide on your path. So if you are figuring out what your path is, and it's a bit weird because when I look down at live raise, they can see me, and then on the other two, it looks down. So anyway. So for artists, who create your original characters or your OCs, basically, you need to go beyond that. I see a lot of artists, they'll draw their original character, and usually it's very generic, and I might like it and just keep moving. I don't like it at all. Or your character reminds me of a different character because they're so aligned. I did a video about this where one guy's character looked like Hinata from Naruto, and then eventually, as the conversation progressed, you found out that this individual did not watch anything else other than Naruto. So it's like, okay, you're just drawing from one influence, and your character looked like an older version of Hinata, except her hair in the back was shorter. Same color schemes, and head shape, same face, all that. So basically, he put no real effort into it, but copying an established character. So when I mean go beyond your OCs, you need to look at different elements of what makes a character completely different. Is this character, you know, are there going to be, are you drawing from your own culture, ethnicity, whatever part of the world you're in? What's the backstory? Now, the thing about backstory is some people, they do a little too much backstory, and with that, they'll post up these long, drawn out paragraphs about their 1, 2, maybe 3 characters. And as a publisher, when I look at this, I'm just like, okay, what about the world that they live in? What else do you have other than this one random image of this character? So basically, they give all this backstory when they're trying to pitch it to a publisher. And at the end of the day, it's like, I don't care. I see this all the time. When some people come to me and they'll go, oh, let me tell you about this OC. They'll tell me about the grandparents, the history. And I'm just like, okay, what's this have to do with the story? And they go, oh, this is just the backstory. Like, they wasted all that time. So basically, when it comes to backstory, put it in the story. Tell me over time. Your main goal is to get me to care about your characters. Because let's be honest, nobody's going to care more about your characters than you. That's just the truth at the end of the day. And there's nothing absolutely wrong with that. If you want people to draw fan art about your characters, then, you know, you really got to put in the work. There's no point in begging people to come like your page. There's no point in trying to use desperate tactics, you know, going on people's YouTube comments. Oh, come like my page, do this, do that. But please share. People are going to share what they want to share. Now, you can put an incentive in your post to get people to share your post. Maybe like you want to run a contest or something like that. That'll work. So basically, if you really want to make it in this industry, draw. Just draw. You have an idea of a story. Thanks for the love on libraries. So basically, this is what I did. Came point in time, I'm like, okay, if I'm really gonna do this, I need to sit down and draw my first chapter. And I did that. It's the bonus chapter in I Heard Jenny Volume 1. So as I did this, you know, I added in backstory as I drew the chapter. And then once I finished it, you know, I went back over it and figured out, okay, this is what I need to change. This is what I can do better. This is what I'm good at enough right here to where I don't need to focus on this. And then I created chapter 1, and then went to 2, and eventually went to 3. So I had to go beyond my OCs. So basically, I said, okay, where they're going to live. So I had to figure out locations that they're going to live in, locations that they're just going to visit, and then probably establish future locations. So I did all that in the first 3 chapters. So basically, since I'm drawing from the real world and my characters live in America, I don't have to establish this background as much as if I'm creating a world like how Naruto did, One Piece, Yu-Gi-Oh, various different superheroes that come out, or like okay, for example, Love Hina is based in Japan, but it's in a fictional location in Japan. So basically, that's what I'm doing. That's basically most you can do. You can basically set up your characters to live right next door to you. Set them up in your own hometown. Take pictures of, you know, monuments from where you live. Put them in the story, so that way, if you have fans who live in that area after you grow up and move away, or even if you still live in there, then go, oh man, look, there's a water tower. It's like when you watch it's like when you see furniture in the movie that you have. You're like, oh my gosh, I have that chair. Or like you're watching some what's the term I'm looking for? Reality TV show, and you happen to see a street that you're on, or a street that you've been on several times. You go, oh, but I know exactly where that store is. It brings an extra element to it. Another thing, what a lot of us are gonna have to do, learn to draw. Period. What's up, Spark? So learn to draw. Period. And what I mean is, I don't know if y'all can hear this. It's an ice cream truck. So anyway, so this is basically what I see. I see a lot of people who only draw the generic manga style. And when I say the generic manga style, you know, it's the circle head with a pointed chin, long or short, straight hair, big eyes, beige light skin, and that's it. Now, there's nothing wrong if your characters have the same skin tone. There's nothing wrong with that. But you have to realize that with a lot of these other countries coming in, there are a lot more brown people in the world than the same skin tone as Europe, Korea, and Europe. So you need to draw or color characters that kind of look like them, so you can draw in all those fans. I've seen individuals, they just want to have all white characters, all black characters. That's fine and dandy, but at the end of the day, you're thinking small scale, micro. You want to broaden your mindset. But the sole fact that I can guarantee you, a majority of my fan base lives outside the United States of America, so I have to think about this. I have to think, okay, well, I have people follow me in Japan. Let me have a character that looks like them, and not make it like a token character or like a stereotype. So that's one thing you have to do. So for me to do that, I needed to look at Japanese features and say, okay, with the Japanese, they kind of have a pale skin tone similar to those in Europe, but there's a difference. So my characters from that regional world are going to be colored with a different marker color than those from Europe. Actually, I would like to visit Canada, Spark. I really do. Like, okay, I got my Copics right over here. So I'm going to show you guys this that I'm going to use. So basically, where is it? Okay. I got 3 different colors. I want to be very clear on this. So I'm going to show this to Live Rays. This is E0. And then YouTube and Facebook. And then E02, that's Fruit Pink. And then E Quad 0. So as you can tell, these are all different shades, but they're light beige shades. And one problem that I have with a lot of people I see from the actual Japanese part of the industry and a lot of people online, they'll take maybe, let's just say everybody was using Copics, for argument's sake. They'll use one color, and I've sent an email to the Anime's New Network about it, and they botched the whole email. I had an old YouTube video about that. White people and Japanese people have the same skin tone. So knowing how to draw, I'm like, okay, well, my Japanese people are going to have a certain color, and my European characters are going to have a different color. You can tell that they're light skinned, but they're not exactly going to be the same. Because let's be honest, if you know people whose ancestors from Europe, they're not all the same skin color. The Spaniards sometimes are dark. The Spaniards are darker than the Russians, at least from what I've seen. How I feel about Trump. Even though that feels a little off, if you follow me on YouTube, which is youtube.com/sketchinghands, Trump actually pulled America out of the TPP, which actually saved the artistic community from a giant hailstorm, to where it would be very difficult to copyright your characters and retain such copyrights. So on that front, I'm like, I give you kudos to that. Thank you for that one incident. I think Trump is an idiot, and I don't think he is going to. I don't really think he's going to do anything about North Korea, because if a war to break out, that's really going to decimate that part of the world, and that's going to affect anime. Like, Korea produces a lot of our favorite shows, and if South Korea is fighting North Korea, um, we're going to rely on a few Indian studios that make anime for our shows, and that's bye bye unless some of these American companies bring the work here to America and do it. But at that point, we might get all full animation shows, but it might take a lot longer, and people would definitely have to buy merchandise. Actually, you know what? Seeing as how the merchandise is made from China, that probably will be gone too. So I think Trump's an idiot. I hope he doesn't cause a war over there. I mean, you know what? Let's move on back to the subject, because I'm all over the place right now. That, and I'm going to say this right now. This is my first triple live stream. So if you follow me on all three of these platforms, this is the same video. It's just at different angles. So since I decided all my characters are going to have different skin tones, I then decided, okay, well, my characters from Southeast Asia's eyes have to be different than my European characters, and they have to be different from the characters who from Africa, India. But I want to do this to where it's still manga. It still draws from the manga style. It's just they're all different, and you can tell from just looking at my character. This character is from this part of the world. This character is from maybe this country in this part of the world. It's not like now where if you're watching an anime, the only way you can tell a character's from the United States of America is if they have blonde hair, blue eyes, and wearing the American flag. I think that's crap. I'm like, okay, their faces aren't as flat as they are in that region, but there's a lot of same face going on in this industry. So be unique. Learn older styles of drawing. Learn realism, impressionism, and then those skills that you learn from those you can put into your series. Like if you're on Instagram and you type in hashtag manga or Copic, or type in manga and watercolor, some of the things, those people are doing amazing jobs right now when it comes to watercolor. I'm sitting there looking at these like, oh man, that's awesome. But when you're doing watercolor, it has nothing to do with manga at first. When you're learning that, they incorporate it into their style and came up with something new. You see a lot of people doing galaxy style hair. Once I learned galaxy style, is a class on my Patreon. So if you check out my stuff on YouTube, you can get to that easily. So that's pretty much a whole new style in itself. So now once I learned how to do galaxy art, I'm like, okay, I can do this with hair, I can do this with backgrounds and everything. So basically, you want to learn how to draw anything, period, outside of manga. So basically, how do you do this? You have to stop drawing manga. Y'all get real quiet. You hear that? It's the screams and pitches of fanboys who do not like that advice. Oh, their souls are just screaming out bloody murder right now. They're probably going to tar and feather me. But if you're going to be taken as a professional, you need to be able to make your stuff look realistic. You need to know anatomy. You need to know all sorts of different techniques. It's like you cannot build your own style if you don't know the basics. I can't go out and say, I'm going to go play for the NFL, and then I get out there and I'm just running around in circles, and then people go, what are you doing? You're not playing the game. And I scream out, this is how I play football. I don't know the basics. So basically, learn the basics, learn to draw. So once you start learning different drawing techniques, you can bring in something unique. You can bring in something new and fresh. Another thing is collaborate with each other. Now, I do happen to see this. I see sometimes where people will, they'll, oh, you draw my character, I'll draw your character, and we'll swap it. Okay, that's cool. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But that's all I'm seeing. You have to go past that. So how do you go past that? Okay, collaborating could be as much as like right now I have a team, and their series is called Nightingale. So one's a writer, one's an artist. They're collaborating to make this amazing series. This is why I picked them up. This is why I'm pushing this series, and this is why I mostly leave them alone, let them do what they need to do, and I'm basically promoting this series because I want them to do the work. So the three of us are collaborating to make this series a global phenomenon, or at least popular enough to where they can quit their regular day jobs and write and draw the whole way. So you have to lone wolf mentality out of your mind. Like, I'm going to do everything. You can't do everything. Like, point blank, it was taking me 2 months to draw one chapter due to all of my workload. Like, I would need to draw, ink, write my script, do all this and that, scan it in, put in the text, upload it, convert files, pay other individuals on my team. And then I realized, okay, I need an assistant. So once I did that, my assistant could do the stuff I didn't have time to do, or things I didn't want to do at the time. So she had to get another part-time job. That was what she was doing. So basically, you want to build a team to go along with you. Like, understand some people may not want other people inking for them, but if, let's say it's you and 2 buddies, and all 3 of you have your own different comics. Why don't you get together and share a website, split the cost in the 3 different in the thirds, and then y'all all promoting at one site. So instead of you just tagging everybody, oh, come look at my stuff, come look at my stuff, you have 3 people doing it. You have 3 times the amount, or 3 times the chances to and then you have 3. So 2 heads are better than 1. If 2 heads are better than 1, 3 is definitely better than 1. So if there are any questions on Live Raise or YouTube, or even Facebook right now, I am game. So I have a little checklist right here for you guys that I need to check off. And I want to do this a little different. A lot of people want to put their Q&As at the end. I'm going to do questions as they come along, as they pertain to what I'm discussing. Architected collaboration one. Okay, so here's a big one. Set goals and stick to them. Now, what I mean is, if your goal is to draw 2 pages on manga a day, do that. That means if you don't have the time to draw 2 pages, sell to pencils to inks and possibly lettering, unless you do your lettering on Photoshop, like I do. Figure out why you don't have enough time. Is it maybe because the days that you work at your job, you don't have time to do 2 pages? So maybe you want to do like your concepts right there. So on your days off, you can go from concept all the way to 2 finished pages. Do that. Or think about where you're spending most of your time. So are you watching 3, 4, 5 hours worth of TV? Are you, playing games on your system, or you're flipping through Facebook all the time nonstop? A lot of you say you don't have time to make a comic, but you're part of like 30 different Facebook groups. Because I know an individual like that, he's part of 30 different Facebook groups, and he's posting and talking in all these different conversations saying, oh, I don't have time. And I'm sitting thinking, okay, if it takes you 30 seconds to write 1 post and you're doing this 30 times, that's about what 15 minutes right there. You could have been sketching. That's a full drawing. Well, for me at least. So basically, figure out time management. Make that your #1 goal. Manage your time. Set your goal and stick to it. Now, I write a list. Like, I have a little bitty I don't know if I have it with me, my dishi. And for some of you who don't know what dishi is, that is student in Japanese. I think I'm saying that right. I'm gonna have to ask my women in Tokyo if I'm saying that right. Okay, so I got this little I write a different list in. So with this list, so I'll go in. I'm gonna use a blank page. So as I write on this book, let me see it y'all I can see it from all three screens. So I'll write maybe 5 things to do. And then as I get ideas into my head, I'll add to this list, but I'll keep going down the list in order unless one thing is taking too long and something else that I'm working on somehow gets done first, and I'll fill in the square. Or bubble in. You don't have to do squares. You can mark it out or whatever. And it's called my never-ending list. So when I feel like, oh, I haven't done anything, I go back and look at the list. So if I had, let's say I had 20 things, and I got 8 done, I'm like, okay, I'm almost halfway through my list. Let me keep working on it. And that's basically how I keep up with my goals. It really does help, because you really don't want, if you try to keep everything in your mind, you're gonna run out of room. It's like a lot of people say they're an idea factory. Okay, that's fine. I work at a car factory currently, and at this point in time, we're running out of room for cars. That's your ideas. Your brain is running out of room for your ideas. So you put them on the list. That's like an additional parking lot. So then you can put more ideas over there, so your brain can get back to work to produce more cars or more ideas. So that's something else you guys can, guys and girls can think about. Another thing a lot of people need to do is watch your competition. As hard as that might be for me to do at times, it actually helps me out. So I'll look at what events they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. I mostly don't pay attention to followings, because your followings can go up and down. Good if you have a bigger following on one platform than another, or you might have a bigger following on multiple platforms. I have competitors who are way bigger than me, like Manga DC. Then I have competitors who are way smaller than me. Like there's some comic society, whatever, and they're in like Guatemala, and I follow both of them, so I can see what they're doing for the sole fact that I'm like, okay, they figure something out for me, I can use that. Or I might figure out something else that they don't figure out that they're doing. Like currently, that's what I'm doing right now. I've never seen them do a triple live stream. I haven't seen anybody do that. I think I'm first. I'm gonna call that. It is August 27th, 2017. So I'm gonna call it. I'm the first to do triple live stream. If I'm not, somebody post up a link with proof to someone that's doing it. Post a link to whatever they were doing. So you have to pay attention to your competition for the sole fact that there's going to be an industry standard. So like okay, right now with the American comic books, it's from left to right. That's the industry standard, and usually it's with superheroes, it's like big muscles, secret identities mostly. That's the industry standard. Now there are characters that basically are a little bit different. Everybody knows who the Fantastic Four are, but like when it comes to like Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, nobody knows what their identities are. So there's also going to be outliers. So when the manga came in, it was right to left. That was that industry standard. But now, due to the internet, I want to say we're like in a gray area. You have individuals from the West who are drawing their comics in the same format as the Japanese. And I started asking them, why are you making yours like the Japanese and not doing it the way you read? And some of them go, oh, this is how manga's made. Others might say, oh, I'm showing respect to the Japanese. That answer I can accept. I'll say, okay, that's what you want to do. That's fine. But for the first ones, they say, this is how manga's made. I would like to point out that speech bubbles did not originate in Japan. that the Japanese got it from the West, the Western half of the world, and they didn't go, well, this is how comics made. We're going to respect it. No, they made it for their own. So basically, they looked at the competition, they took what they wanted, then they changed it up for their culture, incubated it, and cooked this thing that we now love and basically trying to replicate. This is how art has always worked. Art has always drawn from different areas of the world and created something new. So 100 years from now, the manga style is going to be up there with Impressionism, Realism, Cubanism, modern art, which is another argument in itself. So basically, as you watch your competition, don't hate. Just say to yourself, I want to be where they are. What can I do to beat them? And basically, I realize this when people bash other artists, I tend to go look at that artist's page, and usually that artist is better than the hater. And then basically their hate to have a new fan, and I might buy their stuff. And so basically, the more haters you have, the more fans you have. Haters are super fans. Haters make you famous. They keep your name in their mouth. They cause people to go check you out. They might make other haters, and they're always talking bad about you. But you're more famous than them because you're basically not talking about them. Another thing, this is probably the most important thing I want to talk about. Charging for your services. Now, when I mean charge for your services, what you have to realize is you're putting all your time and effort into making this craft. Your time should not be given away for free, except for a few instances. One, if you're going, like, you're doing a promotional image for like a charity, or you're doing it for somebody with, let's say, 2 million, 8 million followers on YouTube, and you send it to them, and then that person's going to give you a shout out. That's real exposure. To trade your craft for exposure, there needs to be actual exposure. Now, for instance, in a lot of groups, I see people say, "Oh, I got this new. I'm a writer. I got this new idea for this comic or this anime. I need an artist. I can't pay you. I'm not gonna pay you, but I'm gonna give you exposure." And then the artist, and they keep bumping it up, or they get into a flame war in the comment section of artists saying, "Okay, well, what kind of following you have? What's this about?" The artist is asking, "Okay, well, you're not gonna pay money. Can you like send me supplies at least?" I just turned down a job offer from a local church with 800 members for the sole fact that they didn't even want to buy supplies. Their whole argument was, yeah, we wanted you to do this. We don't want to pay you, but we can give you exposure. And when I went and looked at their Facebook page, they had less than 1,000 supporters. And at the time, I'm like, I'm at 18,000. I have my own exposure. I have a YouTube channel with over 2,000 plus. I have Instagram with at least 150. I just started another social media. I just started on Live Raise. I can get my own exposure. So like at the end, what are you offering me? And so you have to ask yourself that. So if somebody wants you to do something for free, they need to have like a big platform that is going to benefit you. If they're a nobody, don't do it. At that point, you might as well sit there and start drawing your own stuff since you're already doing that, since your time is already free. You might as well work on your own brand and do that for free and start posting up and build your own fan base. Exposure means absolutely nothing if they do not have a backing. Point blank period. That's how I feel about it. If somebody disagrees, you let me know. For Samuel, I will be doing a VIP for Live Raise. but I want to get I just started on this platform, so I want to get a bit more. I'm probably going to announce on Live Raise what I'm going to do for VIPs. So just let me know what kind of subjects you want to see, and I'll be happy. I'll be happy to do that. For some of you who don't know what Live Raise is, it's an app that you can go live on. So basically, if you like going live on Facebook, go live on Live Raise instead. It's just as easy. And then if you're a content provider, you can get somebody for support, maybe buy a new camera, maybe help pay for gas or something like that. Especially if you're an artist, I suggest you do Live Raise. That way, your actual fans can get something exclusive, because we all can have, everybody can be a viewer. There's a difference between a viewer and a fan. A viewer is somebody, they'll just watch whatever and not care to make sure you have a dollar in pocket. A fan, a fan will go, oh man, this is the best show ever. They'll talk about it. They'll buy merchandise, because pre-internet, if you're watching a TV show, you were a viewer and a fan due to the commercials. And usually, like for instance, if I was watching cartoons as a child in the late 90s, a toy advertisement will come. Oh, let me go buy this Rugrat toy. I love the Rugrats. So once I had a Rugrat toy, I kind of realized that, oh my gosh, all my friends have Rugrats toys too. We can play games together. Or I got Power Ranger toys. And I realized if I bought a toy of that show pretty much stuck around. There was a show called SWAT Cat. I didn't have any SWAT Cat toys. No, none of my friends did at the time. I had maybe like 12 friends at the time. But I realized that that show eventually went away. So I realized that, okay, I'll buy the stuff, they'll keep making the show, so I can keep watching it and I can play with my friends. So basically, having viewers is good, but you also want to cater to your fans. What's up, Mr. Walker? So if you're going to give away your talent for exposure, either be building your own brand like I'm currently doing with you all. I appreciate you all taking the time to look at my content. Just make sure that they have something that can provide you. Now, like if Michael Jordan were to come up to me, I want you to come up with a new design for my shoes. I'm not gonna pay you, but I'm gonna promote your business. I'm gonna put it on my stadium. And I signed on the dotted line that he could do that. I'll do that for free. I'm like, okay. I'll say, oh, let me get some limited shoes where you sign. Let me get 3 copies of these shoes where you sign them. I keep one for myself. I'm gonna sell the other 2. That type of free exposure. Go right ahead. If you do that, I'll promote you myself. I'd be like, look what this dude did. Look what this girl did right here. No, she's killing the game. So let's go to the other part of charging for your services. So this is going to be hard for a lot of you. If you are selling your artwork, you need to look at what the big guys are charging. Look at their business models. Like DC Marvel, Shonen Jump, Kodansha, Yen Press, Image Comics, Dark Horse. Look at what they're selling their products for, and you might want to match. Like for instance, my the prices of my digital mangas is $5, and we have 2 of them currently out. One of my competitors, when he first put out his digital manga, it was $11, and the physical was $10. In my mind at the time, I'm like, well, wait, how's the digital worth more than the physical? That did not make any sense whatsoever. I could tell that he did not look at what the other companies were doing. And then after a while, it changed up to where it went from 5 to 8, where 8 was the physical was more. For the sole fact that I'm like, with digital, I can download it. There's no the ship. It's just a download. It's a freaking file. So I came up with 5 because I was looking at some of my other competitors and I realized, okay, that's actually a decent price for the sole fact that physical books, they're selling physical books for 10. So basically they're half price for the same thing. Now, are people gonna want the physical book? Yes. Are some people really care about that? No, they might just want the digital. So I figured that's a good selling point, and I will adjust my price accordingly. Now, that's how you're supposed to do it. That's someone coming in the house, setting their alarm. So, okay, so this is what you should not do. You should not come up with a magical price out of your head and don't think about supply and demand. Now, I'll use an example. There's one artist, he drew a big, I want to say it was a quarter of the size of this wall that's behind me. He was selling it for $700. And my question was, what makes it $700? He said, it took me this amount of hours. I wanted to get paid $10 an hour for this. That's the price. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I don't think anybody's going to pay $700 for that. When, first of all, you're nobody. And I don't say a nobody to be rude. You're a random person. I mean, nobody is. He had no following whatsoever. He had no name recognition. He never worked for a big company or anything like that. Okay, there we go. So basically, I'm sitting thinking $700. What can I buy for $700? I was like, oh man, I could buy an iPhone 6 for $700. This was years ago. This iPhone is not worth $7. This iPhone is actually cracked. I was actually going to use this to go triple live stream, but now I can go quad live stream if I so choose. All the time, they'll come up with like $300-$400. And I told the guy, I said, I don't think it's worth $700. I don't think anybody's gonna pay that. And people said, oh, well, it's $700 because he said it's $700. That's not how this works. That's not, in a capitalist society, that's not how it works. It's worth as much as you can sell it for. So, like, okay, let's say he was the only person in the world that could draw Batman, and everybody knew him. Then he said $700, and people were buying it for $700. Okay, it's worth $700. But here's another thing. He was not trying to sell it to his artist. He was trying to sell it to other artists. So he's trying to sell a Batman drawing for $700 to me and other individuals who can draw on Batman. Because he was using oil pastels or something like that. Because he decided to use a medium that was time consuming. So basically, whatever you make, look at supply and demand. So the higher your popularity is and your demand is, the more you can charge. So notifications popping up. So what you have to realize is when you're starting out low, you want to have a very competitive price. Like, okay, for instance, I was drawing caricatures at a local flea market or jock lot, depending on what you want to call it, or open market. I put up Six Flags price $70, and I put mine. Mine was like $25 for grayscale, 15 for line art, and 30 for color. You know, I set color high because I was figuring not many people want color. Everybody wanted color, and this is why. The demand was higher than the supply. So I did no line drawings. I did one grayscale because that's what the person wanted. And all the rest of the ones I did were color. So I realized I can go to 40 the next day. But I decided not to. What's up, Stephanie? This is John. My brother does not live stream, Stephanie. So I decided to keep my prices the same because I realized where I were. The county I was in, people, you know, they went to this area to get the most bang for their buck, and they didn't really have. Now, if I go to New York City, I would charge $50 a pop because I know artists up there are making a lot of money. I have a friend, she went to New York and she had 2 people draw her and it don't look like her, and I drew her. If you go look at one of my blogs, it's the black girl with the nose and like the really big cheeks. That's the drawing I had did for her. So I knew what the supply was and my demand was. And if my price was too high, I would have fluctuated until I got to a decent price to where I could start making some money. Never back down from your prices. So if, let's say you're doing a painting and you need 5 cans of paint, and each can is, for argument's sake, $10. So it's gonna be $50. And someone comes and wants you to do a mural for their business or church or whatever, and your fee $50 just for labor. Supplies, that's another 50, so it's 100. Don't let them sit there and talk you down to 25. So basically, you have to put it like this. Go, okay, well, would you do your job at your current employer for half the amount that you currently make? If the answer is no, and say, well, I'm my current employer, that's what you're asking me to do. And you explain, this fee does not go to me. This is the supplies. So at the end of it, if there's any left, you can have that. I don't need it. It all belongs to you. But for me, I do this for a living. I have to make a living. This is the price that I charge. And they go, well, this artist charges this much. You go, okay, well, if they charge $30 and I charge $50, why didn't you go to that other artist? Are they not professional? Do they not do the job that you want to? Because I charge $50, but so effective, I provide a good turnaround. I get it done. I communicate well. You're gonna love what you pay for. That's why I charge what I charge. All my other clients paid that price. They were very happy with it. This is my business model, and I can't deviate from this business model. And if they want your money, they'll pay that price. Or you could talk them down and go, okay, well, since I'm new with you, I'll meet you in the middle. I'll go 40 since it's your first time. Basically, you negotiate it down a little bit, but secretly you wanted 40, but you set your price higher up. They didn't realize that. So never accept anything that they're gonna give you. Never accept that, oh, do it free for exposure. Because a lot of artists you guys got to realize that, oh, I can get someone else to draw it for me. They come to you because they can't do it. They think you're a sucker, and that's why they don't want to pay you for it. They're not gonna go to somebody, a professional basketball coach, and go, oh, teach me how to play like LeBron James for free. That's not gonna happen. They're not gonna go to a race car driver and try to convince them that, don't go to this $1 million race. Teach me how to drive for free. That's not gonna happen. Don't let that happen to you. So figure out what your prices are, stick to them. That's your business model. Like I said, exposure is worthless unless they have a really big following. Now, if you do have a big following, you can start charging people for promotions. Like for instance, if you go to Instagram, some of these cosplayers, they actually charge for promotions. Some might be $50, some might be up to freaking $700. Like, okay, there was this one regular model. I just happened to ask, do you charge for promotions? She said $500 per post, 1,000. Then I went to a cosplayer who had 20,000, and I asked her, and she said 45. And I was like, oh, okay. Just to see what the prices were for experience sake. So shop around, figure out what you need to do. It's like it's like what companies do when they go for actors for the movies. They be like, okay, well, he's twice as talented, half the price of this guy. We're gonna go with this guy. Save money. We'll be able to bring in more extras, buy newer, better equipment, buy more supplies. So we're gonna wind down just a little bit. If there are any questions, I don't see any right now. Another thing we have to do as artists, look beyond showman. And I say that for the sole fact that this is what I see from Western artists. I see everybody trying to copy Shonen Jump. You know what? I will draw a pie graph for you guys. I'm not a believer in telling people what they should and shouldn't draw, but I will give them. I got my circle template. I do have a mindset to where I will give people advice that'll push them a little bit further along, because I didn't have help growing up. So okay, I'm gonna draw 2 circles here really quick. And one circle is going to be divided up. And this is basically what I see. Now, this number of slices is not accurate by any means. This is just to show a point to you guys. So, okay. There you guys for YouTube and Facebook. And for you on live raise. So, okay. On this paper, this right here is shonen. The reason it has all these different little pies, that's all the competition. That's everybody who's trying to make it shonen. This black and area is Shonen Jump. That's them. So basically, we're gonna, for argument's sake, we're gonna say this is Shonen Jump. They can either go bigger, or stay right here. They basically defined what shonen is in the past 20 years. That's their game. They're king of the hill. They're king of the hill with tanks, airplanes, bombs. Everybody else is coming with bows and arrows. You're fighting over the rocks at the base of the mountain. You're not going to knock Shonen Jump off their game. This is what they do. This is what they dictate. Now you can, you can basically color. You can do what Pepsi did, because like Coca-Cola, Shonen Jump's not really taking any competition serious. Coca-Cola bought Pepsi a long time ago. They didn't do it. So basically, you could be this red area, but as you can see, this slice is getting smaller and smaller. Now you might ask yourself, what's with this circle right here? This is everything else. So I'm going to go for one small slice here. I'm going to go here. So this is horror. This is comedy. This is slice of life. This is gags. So when it comes to the manga industry as a whole, this pie right here is wide open territory that everybody else seems to be ignoring. And the reason I point that out is not because I think keeping that information to myself is a strategic advantage. It's because I don't want the the new manga industry to be pigeonholed like DC and Marvel. Comic books or comics, they think superheroes. That was not always the case. Were superheroes first? Yes. When it comes to modern day actually, you know what? I don't think they were. I think it might have been gag, but superheroes died off. They used to be hard. The American industry used to be more diverse. But now, if you ask anybody, when you hear comic book, what do you think about? Say Superman, Batman, they're going to name a superhero. When you say shonen, people are going to be like Goku, Dragon Ball Z, and all this and that. I didn't start off on shonen. I didn't. I started off on ecchi. That's what my first one is, comedy ecchi. Do I have a shonen? Yes, I do. I'm working on it now, but it's not my favorite series to work on. So if you have even if you have a short story for a manga and it's hard, go for it. Make it. Sell it. If you want to sell it to me, and I'll buy it from you. I'm like, okay, I might turn into a series. I'm like, you know what? This is only good for one story. If he wants to sell it to me for X amount of dollars, I'm gonna buy it. I'll buy it. I'll give you credit. I'll give a link to your social media. Help you get a following. So come up with different ideas. Don't just draw battle manga. Go if you go read the series Bakuman. They do different things. The two main characters. Every series isn't the same. They talk about traditional battle. So basically, excuse me, basically they're saying, oh, okay, well, if this new idea fails, we'll just transition to a traditional battle manga. It's cookie cutter. It's the common denominator. It's boring if that's all we're ever going to produce. This is why I really don't buy a whole lot of DC and Marvel comics. I'll buy Batman, Superman, Iron Man, Spider-Man. That's it. You don't really. I mean, about a Star Wars comic because it's Darth Vader, because it's something different. It's Star Wars. It's science fiction. Magical swordsman in space. That's basically what the Jedi and Sith are. It's not like I'm going to save the world. I can see what I do. It's not the same. It's like with all these epic fantasy novels. They have dragons, they have dwarves, they have elves. One thing I like about Lord of the Rings is this is the first series I ever heard of a freaking hobbit. I was like, what is a hobbit? That's different. Let me watch this. Let me go buy this book. Or like when I first heard of Dark Elves for, I don't even remember which series. I'm like, okay. It's like you want to figure out something different. Like for instance, before Harry Potter, I cannot tell you any series with witches and wizards where they went to school to learn how to do magic. There might have been, but I did not hear of it. Okay, that's different. Let me check that out. I think that was the way for a lot of people. So basically, I need to unfold this piece of paper. Actually, I don't need to unfold this piece of paper. What did I do with the other half? So okay. So when I say look beyond shonen, I'm not saying don't draw shonen manga ever. What I'm saying is, if you're actually going to ever stand out, you're gonna have to think outside the box. You can't copy. You can't do what everybody else is doing, because at the end of the day, I heard Genie will stand out from yours. They're gonna be like, oh, what's this about? You can say, oh, it's about an immigrant and he gets genies and he's trying to find a girlfriend. And people are like, wait, what? It's not like, oh, he has this powers, doing this. He's got to save his world, find his destiny. You don't hear me say destiny. You don't hear me say power. You don't hear me say transformations. You don't hear me say any of that. You're saying this dude's trying to find a girlfriend. He's an immigrant and he has magical genius. The only difference is magic. That's the only term you're going to hear from possible shonen series. And people are going to be like, they're going to read it and they're not going to know what to think. They're going to either hate it or they're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. You're going to have people who are going to like it just because it's different. So you truly want to be different. You have to think. You really have to think, what is everybody else doing? That falls back to watching your competition. Supply and demand. So we have a high supply of shonen and a decent equal supply of demand for it. We have a high supply of gag, ecchi, horror, all these other ones, and we have very low supply. So if you're the only person out there drawing horror manga, you'd be the next Stephen King if you put your head down and do the work. That's my opinion. That's basically what I see. So another subject I want to talk to before I end things, because we are going on, I would say about an hour. I say that because YouTube is behind Live Raise and Facebook. Facebook is at an hour. Okay. So hide your best ideas. And what I mean is, I see people writing every little idea they have on Facebook. And I think to myself, I really like that. Chances are this individual is not going to use this idea. This idea is probably not copyrighted. If I use it copyrighted first, it's mine. There are people out there that think like this. If you think I'm wrong, go look at some of the stuff that Apple ripped off. There was a device made in the 80s that looks like an iPhone or like an iPad. Apple was not the first. I can guarantee Apple was not the first to have an iPad-looking device. I can guarantee you that. They were first to make it good. They bought the patent from the guy. So basically, you have this killer idea, but I'm ready to just tell the world. No, let that emotion and excitement die down. Don't tell the world. Build your manga, copyright it, and sell it to the world. That's my opinion. That's what I did. This is why I made I Heart Genie. I had this killer idea that I absolutely love, and that's what I did. Um, Still no questions at this point. Ooh, not live streaming. That's fine. So basically, how I'm going to continue to do these live streams. I'm going to do triple live very often. But there are going to be some differences. If you're on Live Raise, you're going to get a weekly live stream, regular followers, and I'm going to start doing stuff for VIPs. If you happen to follow me on Instagram, on my Instagram lives, I'm basically going to do a lot of coloring on there. They're going to be sporadic and random. Probably have music playing in the background, or it'll be a new project I'm working on. So it'll be sneak peeks. So follow me on Instagram for that. Yes, this is shameless promotion. Do not be shameless in promoting yourself. Oh, dang, Mr. Walker, that does suck. Your phone died. Oh, that's fine. If you have any questions, let me know, Mr. Walker. Or you can go back and you can rewatch this whole thing on my YouTube or Facebook. Or I think Live Race keeps this as long as I don't delete it. And I don't think I will delete this anytime soon. So anyway, for you guys on YouTube, I won't be going live on YouTube that often unless I'm doing a big live stream like this. YouTube is where I'm still going to be posting up more of my tutorial videos. And for Facebook, I will probably do one discussion video that is live every month. I will announce it, but for like a big live stream like this, it'll be promoted, and I'll probably do these months. The promotions will be a month in advance for the next time I do it. So if we don't have any I'm gonna give you guys a minute to post any questions that you have. Also, if my site's still down and is being worked on, so if you have any want to submit, contact me on Facebook, and I will give you my company email. And actually, you know what? Give me your email, and I will send you my submissions guideline page. And then you follow that accordingly, and then I'll tell you or what you possibly could do better or not. I'm not the type of editor that's like, oh, you gotta change all this crap up. I'll say, okay, your story doesn't make sense here, your grammar's off here. I think this idea right here has been taken, or it is very widely used. That doesn't happen often. Oh, my shirt says, okay, so some of y'all can't see my shirt, so let me stand up. So, okay, for YouTube and Facebook. So, I think this is my phone. Yeah, only idiot would. I had to buy this shirt because I sat there and I saw it. I was like, oh man, they got me. I said, you know what? Let me buy that. I only buy things that I absolutely love. And I only bring in artists that I absolutely realize this person needs to be, that they need to do this for life. That art is their thing. You can tell. I got another shirt where it says how to get away from a police officer. It was like drop donuts at the end or something like that. I was wearing it, and the police officer came, he read my shirt, and he just laughed. He was like, that's so stereotypical. But he was eating a donut as he said this. So I was like, oh, but you're eating the donut. And it was one like how to get out of class. It was like being fake sick. What's up, Mr. Taylor? What's up, Jamal? So school, buddy. He's probably seen the shirt. I've had this shirt for like ever. I just don't really throw away t-shirts. I don't buy clothes. I don't. I buy art supplies. As a matter of fact, I think I have almost every Copic marker there is. No, I have 2/3 of the Copics. So it's going to cost me like $900 to get the rest. But once I do that, then I got to start buying the refills. So I'm still doing this for supplies. So let me see my race. Since we got 2 comments here. Okay. And I think most of my YouTube subscribers are still asleep because usually my views show when I'm asleep. So I'm gonna end it. I want to thank you for all you who joined me here live. I'm going to be going live on Instagram really soon. I'm gonna say in the next 10 minutes, just so I can as I color some stuff, just to so give something for my Instagram followers. My name on Instagram is Sketching Hands, the number 7. I don't know why I had to add the 7 because someone's sitting on my name and they won't give it up. Contact this person. They're a jerk. So it's Sketching Hands 7. If you can't figure out, if you want to follow all my social media, just go to youtube.com/sketchinghands, and in that little corner, all my social media is right there. And just click it and follow me on there. So until then, have a great day, and I'm going to cut off YouTube.